Stream record. Does that say yes? Have I done it? Stream record go live. Good morning. Happy Monday. Is anybody there yet? God, I need to get my fringe cat. I'll do it myself. Come on in. Good morning. Can you hear me? Good morning, Lucy. Are you in the building? Perhaps you could just ping me. Hello, hello. Perhaps, Lucy, you could just ping me a text to let me know that the volume is good. That would be great. Thank you. Yep, I got my batteries in, camera check, 1, 2, 3, all good to go. Good morning, happy Monday. Lovely to have your company. Seems like ages since we got together. Bright sunny day today, beautiful sunny day today in Crowborough. How about where you are? How about where you are? Where are you and what's the weather like? We want to know. We want to know. Are we keeping safe? Are we happy? Are we doing it? Got any choice? It's all going to be okay. This too shall pass. Maybe not as fast as we would like, but it's guaranteed to pass. All things do. I take comfort in that. So come on in, grab a seat. Have you got your cup of tea? Have you got your coffee? After that fantastic trip last week to New Mexico, your artwork, golly. When I went over on Clarity Worldwide and I looked at your artwork, that was amazing, you know. Crikey. I went over to my mum and dad's yesterday and I crossed the line and spent the day with them. And it was needed, you know. Mum needed a haircut, dad needed a haircut. We just needed to, you know, we're all in isolation. So you have to weigh up the pros and cons. And I thought it was more important to go in and make sure that mum and dad were okay, because they always say they are, but you know, then you find out that they've taken a fall and things have happened, you know. So you just got to get in there, and I did. But then I was telling them, because they haven't been able to see what we're getting up to in the SHAC, but they've heard all about it. And so I took my iPad and I showed them, and they just couldn't believe. They couldn't believe what we get up to. I showed them all your artwork on Clarity Worldwide. They were stunned. Yeah, brilliant. So that's it. Dad's hooked now. He's going to be tuning in. I'm not sure if he can do Facebook Live, but we've got him sorted out for YouTube later on. Because that's the thing, you see. If you don't do live, then you can always catch up on YouTube later, can't you? It's fine. Come on in. Have a cup of tea. What's the time? Just looking to see if everybody's here. Just somebody send me a text to make sure that the volume's okay, would you? Because otherwise I'm just waffling away. I can't see a thing. That'd be great. What's the time? 9:58 and all is well. 9:58, all is well. Bright and sunny top today. I might take this one off if it gets warm. It starts out cold and then the sun comes, and of course I'm under the roof, and then all of a sudden it's like it's all good. It's all good. It is what it is. It is what it is. You make the best of it, don't you? Hey? Can you see me all right? Is this working? Or are we on pause? I just got a horrible feeling this isn't working. Say something to me. All right, gorgeous. Yeah, all going. Good, thank you. Late to the party, but we got there. Lovely, thank you. Thank you, Lucy said my shirt looks great. Okay. So the volume's good. That's the main thing, you see. There's nothing like I've got the batteries. We're on track. It's very isolating in here. Talking to me. Do you know this is week 8 now. 8. Ocho. That's amazing. Week 8. And I find I talk to myself all the time now. I laugh at my own jokes. I've always done that. Come on in. You got your cup of tea? Are you ready to rock and roll? Last week we went off on our travels. We went to New Mexico. This week we're staying at home. Do you remember? That's the deal. 1 week we go off, next week we stay at home. then we pack our suitcases, then we go somewhere in the world again. So this week is low-key colouring at home. Have you got your colouring postcards? Get your colouring postcards out, because this is what we're going to be using today. So have you got these? Okay. If not, you can always get them. They are available at claritystamp.com. But loads of you have got them, I know. And I think that they're really artist quality. You know, last time when we were together, we did the... Oh, where did I put it? We did the thingy. Let me show you. It was in the green one, and it was the... it probably isn't in here. I didn't... Where have I put it? You did a fantastic job of the nuthatches, didn't you? Have a look at my owls while I look for my nuthatch in my folder. Where did I put my folder? Oh, here it is. Okay, I'm sure I've got it in here. I'm terrible at clearing up, honestly. I just run off to the next job, gallop off. Right, there you go. So that was the one we did last time, didn't we? And you did a cracking job of that. And so today, I thought we'd do something bright and beautiful, very English, very European, very American. It's one of those internationally kind of ones. And the reason that I'm inspired to do the Cock-A-Doodle-Doo is because of this, right? So this is a tin that our Dee Paramore, she made years ago with the stamps, right? Because we've got stamps. And it sits by the door. Behind the camera here is the door to get out of the roof. The SHAC, right? Safe, happy and creative. Stay home and craft. Because that's where we are, isn't it? And so, yeah, if you're new to this is what we do. We stay up here and we doodle every day. And we doodle our way around the world. And we do colouring. And we just hang out together. We keep each other company. We keep each other sane. We get out of our heads, we stay with our hands. And Dee Paramore, a dear friend of mine, she made this years ago. And it sits by the front door of the SHAC. Look at that. What a masterpiece, isn't it? Hey, look at that. So let me just turn it for you, this tin. So there's the cockerel. So this is stamped, and then it's stuck on, see, embossed and coloured. And then she's painted the landscape. But here we go, look, here's the second one. Look. So they're a pair. There's the white one, and then when we go round, there's the beautiful, that big, bold bantam, right? And then you've got the hen sitting on her eggs. Look, isn't it fantastic? And then you've got the dancing hen as well. So many options. Cock-A-Doodle-Doodle, I thought to myself. That's what we're going to do, a Cock-A-Doodle-Doodle. So that's why I picked the Cock-A-Doodle-Doodle from the green postcards, and I thought that they would keep us company. There are so many tricks and tips and techniques that we can work on while we're doing our colouring in. And as we all know, colouring in is a really relaxing, mindful process. And the whole lot, God, you know, I do have to cut my throat. And the thing about this is that just for an hour at 10 o'clock every morning, we get together, don't think about anything else except our art, our craft, our hands, right? The rest can wait. It can wait till 11 o'clock. Trust me, it's not going anywhere. It's doing press-ups out in the car park, okay, waiting for us. And that's why we're in here, safe and happy. Okay? Okay, so Lucy's in with us, aren't you, Lucy? Lucy's in the room with you, and she's going to answer any questions that you've got. If you want to know where to get the postcards, Lucy will be able to help you. If you've got any questions. Now, what are my weapons of choice? I got two different sorts of pencils that I use. You can use any colouring pencils, I use, I've got pergoliners. They're nice. The thing about the Cock-A-Doodle-Doodles, right, they're beautiful reds and oranges and peaches in this particular set, right? That's cool. And also the polychromos, they got some really nice yellows and oranges and reds. and teals, you know, because we went to New Mexico. We got all the turquoises out, didn't we? So I thought that would be a really good place to go to. Okay, so pencil sharpener, get your HB out, get your HB pencil out, because we're going to use it for shading. I mean, that's the really cool thing about doing doodling and penning. You know, when we use our micron pens like we did last week. First we do that, don't we? And then we did that for weeks before we started applying any colour. But so you've already got the shading idea, and we're going to do loads of that again today. We're going to start. And we're probably going to spend the whole week on the Cock-A-Doodle-Doodle, doing the cockerel, and then the hen, and the comb of the cockerel, and these things, what they call wattles or something, and the cape. Oh, beautiful, beautiful bird. Beautiful birds. Let's have a look, shall we? No, I won't use them quite yet. Are you all in the building? Are you happy? Are you poised? Have you got your pens? We definitely want to be going with these. I'm going with this end of the pencil. These ones. These are mine. Right. All the yellows and I'll show you where I got to. Took a little while last night, but that's what I want to do with you. Look. So that's my cockerel, and this is what I'd like to achieve, or at least try and do today. So that means, if I'm not mistaken, right, let me just check. I've had a blank. This is a comb. This is a comb. This is his cape. I think the whole thing's his cape. He's got a long cape, right? These are the feathers, the wings. But let's just say this is his cape around the top here. And then these are his, what are they called? Wattles. Dave told me last night I got a head like a sieve. He even sent me a picture. It was funny. He sent me a picture of the bird dissected. Well, not dissected is not the right word. I think you know what I mean. So who knows what they're called? Are they called wattles? Or something like that? I can't remember. I'm sure one of you will tell me. These things that hang here. Come on. They wobble. Wattles? Something like that. But that's what we're doing today, okay? So have you got your pencils? I've written the ones that I do on the back because that's what I do. So I'm going to get mine out of my. I'm using oranges and yellows and reds. Right, these are the ones that I'm going to use. I'm going to go with them. I definitely need my HB pencil. Get my HB pencil out, not my 5B. That's way too dark. Right. And I need my warm grey. I need some greys for the shading, don't I? And then I think what we'll do is, oh, and I need a white one. Do you remember when we did the nuthatch and I showed you how to use the white one to do resist? Well, that's a lot of what this is again. Let's get up close and see if we can let it get, it's a little bit fuzzy till it focuses. Right, let's have a look. Yeah? How's that looking? Have a good look at it. Then you'll know. Okay, that's what we're going to do today. Okay, so my obsessive mind wants to know what these balls under his beak are called. Wattles? Come on, someone tell me. I need to know now. So I thought, first of all, let's look at the more difficult part, because the comb, the top bit, this piece above his head, and this is easy enough. What I found hard, and this bit's easy enough, what I found harder was this bit here, the large piece. It's like we always say, if you've got a large area, do you remember when we were doing the silver birch? The trees were just completely open areas, weren't they? And do you remember we were saying, well, when you break it up and you put lines in, it makes it so much easier, doesn't it, to colour in? So I thought that what this is a choice thing. Absolutely. It's your art. You decide. I've got one that I'm going to do. I've got a spare one here. I've got 2 spares, look. But I wanted to show you an option. If you want to, I'm going to do this. I'm going to show you how to fill that space, because I think it's a challenge, but it's there. However, you know, like when we did the feathers last week, you can break the area down. So I've already done it for you. Let's get in a bit tighter on that top camera. Let me just come around here and let me just shift the camera so that it gets a bit tighter. Wait, that's very tight. Right, let's have a look. So you can see more what we're doing. But you'll see that what I've already done, I've broken this area up. Look, so I've come in like that. Let me do it really dark so you can see it better. And then I tell you where I started. I started like there, because that was already part of the picture. See, so I've only got this one, so this is for best now, so I found an old one. See, so I went like that, and then I made this floral effect up there. So I've broken it straight away. I've broken it into 2 pieces. I've already split it into 2. Straight away, that's going to make it easier, because even if you just did that, you know you could put the shade down there, couldn't you? Straight away, that simplifies it, right? So, and these are the wattles, definitely, right? So, this is what we're going to do today. We're going to do the comb, yeah, the cape, and the wattles. Ready? Comb, cape, wattles. I know I'm mad. I never argue with her. I've never said yet that I'm not mad. And I'm sitting on my microphone now, and so my neck is getting tighter and tighter. That's better. Stupid girl. Okay, so you've got that in. See, but then you could also, you know, like you could put teardrops in, like feathers. They're almost like funky feathers. I decided that this might be a good design. Look, see? So again, I'm just putting it in dark so you can see it. It's options. See, so you could do that, couldn't you? Bit more like the funky feathers. You could put designs within those areas. You could then, come on, we're experts at stripes. Take here we go, look. Take these bits here. This is how I broke it up. I took that one and went down. Then I took that one and went down. Look. See, and then that, once you've done that, then you go in between and you get a really good, there you go. See? Then that one's up to you. So if you want to break up the cape, as it's called, this part, and you want to make it more of a doodleology thing, like a cock-a-doodle-doodle, right, then that's absolutely your option, isn't it? It's entirely up to you. And so that's up to you. I think I'd like to have a go at this, because it's a challenge and it takes a while, and there's a lot of add it, take it away, add it, take it away. But I think ultimately I like this, you know, and I think that maybe you want to see how to get that kind of effect. Let me get up real tight so you can see it. Let it get focused. There you go. See? It's up to you. Good, let's get started. You ready? So I think the first thing we'll do, let's just do this. We're going to start, let's put some on the cape first. And turn the cape round. See, I knew it was going to get hot. I just got to take my top off. Not my top, just the cardigan. Steady, Gray. As soon as the sun comes out, it's like a little hothouse up here in the SHAC. Oh, that's better. Bit of a naked arm there. That's all right. Sun's out. Right, so with my colours, as I explained, I tend to write on the back. So I'm using a yellow, a lighter colour, and a white, these 2 colours, and they're going to create the base. And so what I'll do is I'll take the white and I'm going to flick, because I want to, if you look at the original one, you'll see that it's always flicking. I'm flicking that way. That's the way I'm flicking, right, regardless. And I could keep going and layering this up until the cows come home, right? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to flick. Do you remember when we did this with the silver birch, didn't we, on the nuthatch? And you just
add, you can't see it, that's the thing, but you will in a minute when you come back. So round the edge like that, just little light flicks. Make sure your pencil's quite sharp for this. Oh, hello. And then what we'll do is we'll use the white pencil, you see, as a kind of a resist pencil, right? Every now and again, let me show you. Every now and again, because it's white and you're on white, if you hold it to the light like that, as soon as you do that, you can see exactly where your white parts of your feathers are, okay? Whee! Right, let me just get all these out of the way. Hang on, I need that one because that's the one if you want to do that job. Yeah. One, that's it. So we're just going to add, I need a little bit more whiteness down that bit there. See? So just flick, 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 flick. We're just going to get this cape. It's like a superhero. She's got a cape on. Look. Right, and then let's do the same with the yellow, with a yellow. Right? And we're just going to just flick, 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 flick. Don't matter if you go out beyond the lines. Just get in there and then just flick up. Okay? And then, but you're always working from the top, like that. And then come in again underneath. Flick, 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 flick. This is a building game. The cape is a building game if you're going to do this. It's worth having a go. But like I say, I found this the most difficult thing for me to make it look the way I wanted it to look. It would be just as easy, it'd be so easy just to take a yellow and go la, 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 and just fill the whole thing in. But that's not really what we want to do. Okay? Yeah, Dee's artwork, fabulous, isn't it? That tin. Dee always does fantastic artwork. She Dee won't mind me telling you this. She's got lupus, and she's had lupus for as long as I've known Dee. Many, many years she's lived with lupus. What a shocking illness that is. You know, she's going through a rough patch at the moment as well. It seems to be, it comes in waves. No sooner as one symptom abated than the next one kicks in. So she's got that to contend with. It's pretty sharp. It's pretty shocking. I feel so sorry for that woman. But she's had it as long as I know. She has an acceptance around it that is quite astounding. See, so now you've got that yellow. You've just got yellow, and it's got like and white in there, but you can't see the white. So now let's take a darker orange. Take a darker orange, and then do the same thing again. Just start flicking, and what you'll see is suddenly there'll be white bits that the resist will start to happen. So you're taking the yellow now. Take the orange and do this. Just if you do this really lightly around there. Remember, you don't want to press too hard, because if you press too hard, that's with the pergoliners or with these polychromos, the Faber-Castells. If you press too hard, you create that wax sheen, don't you, like a layer. And then when you do that, you can't add any more colour. It just doesn't, it stops for you. It's just like you've created a wall. You've sealed it. And now if you do that, then all you've got to do is take your rubber, your pink rubber. Let me make sure it's clean. Okay. If say I press too hard and I've got a wax sheen on it, and then suddenly it's like a wall, like a plastic. You can't get any, you've sealed it. All you need to do is take your rubber and then rough it, literally rough up the surface again. And what you'll find is, as soon as you do that, then, not that I had to do that then, but I just wanted to explain that if you press too hard, that's what will happen. But you'll also see, let's get up tight on what we've already done. If I get up, let it focus. Right, you see how already we're getting that kind of distressed look? Doesn't look, one of the things about this bit here, the cape, is it doesn't look like anything until the end. It takes that long. It looks ropey right till the end. This bit here, lovely. The wattle and the comb, lovely. but I thought we'd start with the bit that's least gratifying first because... So you've got your colours there, right? And now you're going to go with a reddy one now. And now you're going to stay around the edge like that. And then, see how I'm always flicking away, lightly, lightly, lightly. So you can do really light, like little circular motions around the edge, like along here, just to get the shadow in, right? And then you're just going to flick, 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 flick. And you just keep flicking and flicking. And eventually, if you look, see how dark it's getting there? Look, that's about an hour after that. But you can see it, can't you? Just go like this. And you just stay close to that edge. And then you just start flicking out. Light feathery strokes. It's very similar, really, to groovy when you do this, isn't it? Just like, this is like as if we were embossing it. It's no different, really. And I know it takes time, but I mean, where are we going? I think it's great to learn this. I'm going to put my Dame Edna's on so I can actually see. I've got these really strong glasses. And then oh yeah, do you know what? I need an optician. Right, that's better. God. Okay. Anyways, I hope Dee's watching, because I'm sure we all wish her well. She's a fantastic artist, fantastic card maker, one of the best in the business. And I've known her for many, many years. She's always done our samples for us for the telly. She's good woman. She lives down near the coast. I get down there once or twice a year to see her and we hang out. Won't be able to do that this year though, will we, Pet? But you can see how you're building it up. And then you can go in again and you can take your yellow and go in over the top and you just build the colours. See if the red's a little bit too much, go in with the yellow again. Then go in with the orange. And so you just keep building and building and building. Okay? And don't get impatient. Like straight away I'm thinking, oh, they're going to get bored with this. Well, if we're doing this in real time, then you're going to be working at the same pace as I am. It takes as long as it takes, doesn't it? So let's just leave that to sit for a minute. Let's just leave that bit and let's do the next bit. Let's do, for example, the other part of the wing or the cape. If he's got a cape on, then let's call this part of the cape as well. Because we're going to use the same colours, but this is a little bit different. This is so cool to do. Right, this bit here. You up for that? How you doing? Are we all here? Everybody all right? Let's have a cup of tea. Let's have a sip of tea. I don't want to gallop. It's only Monday. We've got all week doing this. We've got all week doing a cock-a-doodle-doodle. I thought it would be really good to work on something bright and fresh and beautiful, you know. And I love these cock-a-doodle-doodle. I see it every day. So that's why I thought that's the one we're going to next. Yes, sirree. There you go, Dee. Didn't know that you inspire me every single morning. It's good, isn't it? Right, let's have a look at this. It looks like armour, this part. Mel Turner, she drew these cockerels. They're the dancing cockerel and the hen. They're beautiful. I love the stamps. They're just gorgeous. And then we turn them into the colouring book as well. So now take a yellow one. What one am I using here? Cadmium yellow. There you go. There's plenty of yellows in this box. Look at that lot. But I'm going with the sort of the warmer yellow. Look, the warmer one. Cadmium yellow. Use any one you fancy. Use a lemon yellow if you want. Zesty. Don't matter. It's your cockerel. Right, so what we're going to do this time, we're going to put in the tips of these feathers, just add a bit of yellow around. See that round thing in the middle of each tip, in each feather? Just avoid it a bit. Just go around like this. There you go. See, what we've got to know, what we need to understand we people, we shack dwellers, right? The reason we're doing this, apart from learning how to colour, which is cool, right? We're doing this to relax. This is the whole process. This is it. And when you get into it and you accept, you've got to accept that we're going to be doing this little postcard all week. Right? We will be, no. But do you remember at the end when we did our nuthatches? Do you remember the exhilaration, how excited you were when you put that night sky in? I remember you were just bouncing at how beautiful your artwork was, and I was excited to see what you'd come up with as well, you know. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. And it's not about producing a piece of artwork with a cock and a hen on it. It's about hanging out together, having a common purpose. That's important. It's the commonality. We're all in this together. We're keeping each other company, aren't we? And we're just going to flick the yellow. See if this camera's any better, is it? It's the same as some and some, isn't it? So you just flick the yellow. Maybe you work upside down. Maybe you flick the yellow towards yourself. Just get that yellow in. It's not challenging this, is it? When I was doing this last night, I got fed up with this bit, with the cape. I was like, oh. And I know I am you. I am that person. So I thought, well, if I'm getting brassed off with the cape, then they're going to get brassed off with the cape. Therefore, we'll go back to it, take it away, go back, come away, go back. And then that way you haven't got time to get fed up with it. Just do a bit, walk away. It's like most things. In my world, right, I have a philosophy, if you like. Not a religious one, it's just a discipline thing. Every day, I do 2 things that I don't want to do. I just do. Just 2 things. You know those things that you think, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, no, I'll do it tomorrow. Procrastinate. There's always going to be, you know, it might be setting up that direct debit or doing that or speaking to that person or, you know, there's always 2 things that you avoid, you know. And I make a point every day of doing 2 things that I don't want to do. And I do them usually right at the beginning of the day, get them out of the way. You get that, don't you? There we are. So he's done the yellow that way. Already looking good. You wouldn't believe, would you, that you can get that from that with a little. So I love it. I think it's lovely what you can do with a little bit of colour. Are you enjoying this? Right, so now what we need, same colours though, we're going to use the same colours. This time we'll go to the next one. So we've done the lightest one. Now we'll turn the whole thing on its head and we'll go in from here. We'll use the yellow and we'll go up to join the yellow. We'll use the orange and we'll go up to join the yellow, sorry. Right, so in like that, start from the top and then go up the other way. Here we go. Just light feathery strokes. If it's too pointed, if you feel it's too pointed, then just get a bit of copy paper. When I say make a chisel, I'm not that keen on, I hate to lose a good piece of, hang on, let me get a card, I'll show you. Look, I've still got Acoma City on it. You can make a softer side like that, so it's flat on that side, and you'll find that's quite a nice, it's softer then. When you go in, it's not so pointed. You're not fighting the nib, you see? So you can go in and then feather. Go in like that and then feather out. So what you're doing is you want to join, but without a stripe. What we're trying to do here, what we're learning, if we're learning anything, we're learning to blend the 2 colours so you don't get a stripe. What you're trying to avoid is a stripe. Okay? So just bear that in mind. If you just think, don't want a stripe, don't want a stripe, don't want a stripe. So if it starts looking like a stripe, then flick over the top of it, and that will break it down. There you are, look. See? Piece of cake this is. You can see how this is going to take all week, can't you? There you go. Right, okay. So, feather, feather, feather. Go in there. A bit darker. Don't worry, we're going to get in there. We'll make some... Look at the depth on that one. Don't worry about that. Just get a little layer of orange in. We don't have to do it all in the first layer, do we? Work in layers. Work in lots of lovely layers. There you go. So you just flick, 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 flick. Go into... And then you've got to look at them, because obviously everywhere where there's a bit of white, it needs a bit of orange now. Just flick, 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 flick. I have another philosophy as well, which works for me. Apart from do 2 things that I don't want to do every day. I think that's good. That's a good rule for me. Otherwise, my list of things that I don't want to do would start really piling up. And the other one that I've got is, and Gracie, she really takes this one on board. I have to do something nice. Not I have to, I choose to, right? I'll do something nice or something kind for somebody. Actually, I'll do 2 things every day. 2 things I don't want to do and 2 nice things, 2 kindnesses every day. I'm not telling you this so that you think I'm some kind of Mother Teresa. It's not that. It's a discipline thing, right? So I do 2 things every day, acts of kindness, call them. But I'm not allowed to tell anybody about them. I'm not allowed to say, see? And then if I say anything, if I do something and then I tell you about it, it doesn't count. I have to do another one. Get it? So I could do 2 nice things and then shout about it and expect a pat on the back, right? And then they don't count, and then I have to go and do another 2 things. So that's quite a good. So there's a lot to that one, you know. There's a lot in there. And it's interesting because Gracie, she really takes that. She took that on board as a child. That whole, you can do something kind for somebody, do something nice, do somebody a good turn, but if you tell everybody about it, what a nice person you are because you've done that, it doesn't count. And yeah, I think it's good. It's a good thing. So that's how I get through life. What about you? Everybody has their rules, don't they? Little ideas how to get through life. Certainly need them at the moment. Golly. Hey? You putting in the orange? How's it looking? Is it working? It's quite good, isn't it? It's relaxing anyway. So I've done that one and then a lighter orange. Lighter. All right. When I always say butter or lighter or better or in linguistics it's called it's a glottal stop, right? Epiglottis. And what happens is normally if you say butter, right? It's at the front, isn't it? Say butter. Now, just say butter. See how it's it's at the front of your mouth. If you say butter, it's at the back of your throat, isn't it? Butter. It's not at the front of your mouth, it's at the back of your mouth. A bit of butter. It's all at the back. Right. And what that is that there's a kind of a flap that goes over. It's a glottal stop. And it blocks the epiglottis. And so instead of saying butter, you go butter. And it's a regional thing. It's definitely a regional thing. And I remember I was at university, I studied linguistics, right? And we were in a general linguistics seminar or class, or a lot of people anyway, general linguistics, about 250 people in this hall. And the lecturer said, so, you know, he was talking about the glottal stop, which is this dialect, this quirk. And he said, so what is it? What is it when somebody, he asked a question, what is it called when someone says butter instead of butter? I said, so I put my hand up and I said, it's a glottal stop, right? So it was obvious that, and he said, where do you come from? I said, Chatham. So it's like double whammy, 250 people just rolling around laughing. But I did know the answer, you see. I knew the answer. Your mouth is formed like that. If you Londoners talk like that as well. It's you know, if I have to try to say butter instead of butter, I have to concentrate quite hard to do that. Right. So now, right, let's have a look. We've got the yellow down. You cool with that? Yeah. So what we want to do next is a little bit. There's a little flash of red in there as well, isn't there? See the red? Should we give that a go? How are you doing? Is everybody happy? Good. I'm assuming that you are. And what we're going to do now is use the red. So let's go back to basic colouring. This is me with my O-level colouring, right? Light, medium, dark. Fingernail, not growing. Light, medium, dark. So we put the light one down first. Then we put down the medium one. See? So let's take a bit of copy paper or a bit. There we go. Let's take our little thing again. If we wanted to do a... So you put the yellow one down first, the lightest one, like that. Say you want to do a I don't know, sunset, sunrise, like that. Right? And this is, let's just say, just for the sake of argument, that's the water or the land. Yeah? So you've done the yellow all the way to the bottom, and then up it goes to the top. See? Dark to the bottom. You want it to go lighter as it goes up, don't you? Right, okay. So we've done that. Then you take the second one, the medium colour, whatever it chooses to be. To be honest, you could take the same one and just press a bit harder, but let's just, for the sake of argument, let's use a darker colour. So now, this one, I'm going up, but I'm only going to go to halfway, see? So I'm going to go up like that, a bit darker down the bottom, and I'll go up, instead of 3/4 of the way, we'll just go halfway, like to there. Right, so back down the bottom again, and then up we go, get to about there. Right, now we're really going for it. So you're going to get that graduation. Then you go to the darkest one, and you start down the bottom again, but this time you're only going to go 1/4 of the way. So it's 3/4 of the way with the lightest colour, halfway with the medium colour, and 1/4 of the way with the darkest colour. So now I'm going in here, right, I'm just using my fingers to stop me going off the edge. I'm using the flat of my pencil, but I'm only going to go to this area now. So as I go up, when I get to there, I stop. I come again, up we go, and I stop. In we go again. And then I just sort of fade it off up to the top one. But you see the graduation? So you've gone all the way, and then you can take the lightest one if you feel inclined to smooth them all into one another. Take the lightest one, and then you go all the way up to the top with the lightest one, and you'll smooth them all out together, see? And that's how you get that graduated effect, where you can't see where one ended and the other one started. I mean, that's just the basics of it, but that's how I do my shading. And so now we've done the yellow at the bottom, we've done the orange at the top, and now I'm going to take my red one, okay, and I'm going to come in, and again, not so much, but I'm going to put some red in here, like there. Okay. There we go. So you're going to go in there, and you're going to not go as far as you did with the orange, see? Because you've only got that little area there. So you're going to come in here, and you're going to just do a little bit of red, little flash of red through here. In fact, now's the time to start looking at which ones are behind. See that one there is behind, isn't it? It's behind. This one here is behind. This one here is behind. it will come together in a minute. It goes like in a minute it pings, and you'll be surprised what makes it ping when you do it. Right, so a little bit of red, light in the tip, like that, dark, and then flick it out just to blend it a bit. Okay. Do you enjoy the colouring sessions? I think it's good to have a mix, you know, to do a bit of doodling, to do a bit of colouring. It's good for me from a selfish point of view, because it's very relaxing colouring. I don't have to think too much. When we're on the travels and I'm the designated driver, I've got to think a lot about where we're going, what we're doing, what we're doodling, you know. Who's on the bus, who's not on the bus. But so this is like a week of just downtime for me now. Lovely colouring in. See how it's getting darker now? So just add a little flash of red through there. Sometimes you have to with the darker colour. Let's have a look if I can get a bit more of a nib, a bit more of a, sharpen it a little bit so I can get into those areas. Yeah, can always come back and do a bit more. There we go. Right. Chilled. So we'll do that. Okay, so if you've got your red in, can we add a bit more in a minute? What's the time? No way is it already 22. Are you kidding me? Good grief. How's that happened? Okay, so before we do the next little trick, now you've got choices here. If you have them, if you don't worry about it. Remember we were looking at those nibs? That's a way to blend the colours together, isn't it? Let me see if this is a bit dirty. No, that'll work. So this is these blending nibs. These are brilliant for blending colour. So for example here, if you want to blend the colour, this bit here, you know, when you want to blend these colours together, these, for example, they take out that gritty area. This is dry brush. This is just a dry nib I'm doing it with. But they take out that grittiness. I mean, you can use oil to do this as well, but you'll see that these nibs, they work fantastic. See how it's already, you put more down and it just smooths it out really beautifully. Yeah? So this is what, if you've got the nibs, you could blend the colours now before you add any HB pencils. You watch. So this is easy, just through the top. You can always go back and add a bit more afterwards, but you'll see that the dry nib really blends the colours on these blendable pen. Well, I guess the clue's in the name. They're blending pencils, aren't they? So they work really nice. Right, so just smooths that colour out. You see? Yeah, really cool. So, do you know we're nearly there? What's brilliant is what we do next. The transformation comes with our old HB pencil. That's when you create that real dimensional. So all those weeks when we were doodling and shading and getting that depth in, that's exactly what we're going to do now. You watch how you change it, just like that, with an HB pencil. So just bog standard HB. And what we're going to do now is we're going to look at these feathers, funky feathers actually, but we're going to look at them and we're going to use our HB pencil and we're going to decide. Definitely you want to chisel on this one. I mean, right, this sounds like a sales pitch. It's not, but I'm going to show you this.
we're using an HB pencil because for weeks we've been saying you don't need anything else. You just need a couple of colouring pencils. You don't need, it's not this needing. The most important thing is that we hang out together. But look, there are these pencils. We sell them, and they're Faber-Castell pencils, and they're all different blacknesses, different hardnesses. And what you'll see is when you shade with them, if you use like a 3B, it's a lot softer than an HB or a 5B. So they are available. You don't need them. They make for easy shading, but you don't need them. But they are there if you want them. I stick to HB because I know that 95% of you good people colouring with me, that's what you've got. So that's what we're using. But there are, if I used a 5B, it's like a piece of cake because it's just soft. It's like charcoal almost. So just so that you understand that there is stuff out there and we sell it. But whether or not you have it or not is a whole other animal. So that's why we're sticking to HB. But then what I want to do is I just need to make it softer by giving myself a bit of a chisel, you see? Do you see? So now I can go in here and I can just add a little bit of shadow. So what I'm going to do is figure out, this is behind, see? Like that. So you figure out which feathers, this one's on top of that one. This one's got a shadow there, that one's got a shadow there, that one's got a shadow there. So just put the shadows in. Right, that one's behind that one, so that one's going to have a bit of shadow there. This one's got a shadow there. And you'll start to see, right, that one's on top. Do you remember when we doodled that heart with the love, the word, and we had to figure out the layers of which layer went on top of which when we were doing that doodling. That was pretty clever. Right, so now you're just going through here and you're working out. I'm putting quite a hard line in just so that I can see it, and then we can always break it up afterwards. Yeah? Let's have a look. So you can see, as soon as you do this, see this line here, this is like, this is a whole feather here. See this one here? Let's get this one in here. Right, softly, softly. Can always add it. Well, actually, you can always take it away as well, because that's what the rubber's for, isn't it? There you go. Nice. See? So you get your colouring, your shading in like that. You can use, like I say, you can use an HB pencil, you can use a 5B pencil. You could use as well, let me just say, if you've got the polychromos, the pergoliners haven't got a great selection of greys, which I'm not thrilled about, but that's all right. Pergoliners plus HB pencil does the job too. Right, so let me show you. And this is going to be definitely a bit darker, isn't it? Underneath there as well. All the way along there. That's a bit very dark under there, though. That one's underneath that one. Underneath that one. That one's darker there. See what I'm doing? You see that all right? Yeah, of course you can. So it's just about adding layers, isn't it? So we've got them pretty much getting there now. I'll be glad if we could do this bit, this lovely feathery area today, and then tomorrow, because it's already 10 to 11, that's absurd. Do you see, that's the thing though, isn't it? That's the wonderful thing about colouring. You just get lost in it. What you have to know though is that these colouring postcards, these are real artist quality. They're not doodle quality, they're proper art quality. So that by the time you finish your colouring, like we did with the nuthatch, you could see
you got a fantastic line art there. Now watch. So now I'm digging in a little bit and I'm spreading out. Look, watch. See how you... So say, for example, let's isolate this one here. Let's go in, see if we can get in that tight one, right? Because this is what I want you to do between now and tomorrow. Say let's take this one here. So this one here is behind these two, isn't it? But it's in front of these three. So if we just isolate that area, then this is going to be right dark. Now I'm really cutting in with my HB, see? I go in there like that and I cut right in. And then it's really dark, look, see? So you can, just looking at that one on its own, let me come in tight and you'll see. Let it focus. See? See the one I'm working on, can't you? See how I've knocked it right back just by really chiseling in dark. And then you can take that same one, but that one, for example, is in front of the two behind it. So then I'm going to do the same thing behind it. So then I'll come in here and I'll just just get a little bit of a shadow going there. It's all just about layers. But this is such a therapeutic, mindful process. It will free you. If you haven't got anything else going on today and you fancy just finishing this, that would be brilliant. I'm going to. Because I enjoyed it so much. I enjoyed the result that I got when I finished it yesterday. Right, and then what I would suggest is just don't worry about the cape. Leave that. We'll do a little bit on the cape every day. So by day 5, it'll be like a wonderful cape. But we don't have to do our heads in trying to get the cape to do what we want it to do on day 1. Absolutely not. You know, you come back to it. Come back to it. See? And if you wanted to, now you've got that, you could go back in and you could add a little flash of white, you know. Oh, sorry, what am I talking about? Red. The reason I said that was because I was thinking I could put a little bit of resist in there as well. See? If I did that, I wonder if that would work. That would look good too. So the red, you see, really light, feathery, sharp strokes in there. So you get that. Yeah, it's going to look brilliant, that is. Look, just that one. And this is what you've always got to know. If you overcook it, if you do too much, you take your rubber, your red one, and you just take it back. Say I think I've overdone that. I just flick back through that hole there and it all comes out again. And then I can go again. So no damage done. It's not like with the pen and ink where we go, oh, now I've killed it. And then the other thing, just to show you, well, these little studs. See the eyes on the eyes on here. All I did, really, maybe because it was so late last night, but I just went round like that and then went like a half size. So I literally just did a little, I went round like that, really gently, and then I cut across half. So I did like a semicircle. And what I found was it looked like bolts. Looks really good. And then if you want to add a little, maybe do a little bit of yellow in them first. Maybe it's easier to put the yellow in beforehand. There you go, look. A little bit of brightness, that'll help. Or whatever colour you fancy. You can do it in red, whatever. It's your cockerel. And then you just go like that. And then you just do a half. Yeah. Just gently. Honestly, I'm hardly touching the paper. Round I go. Cut across the yellow. Like a little smiley face. Done. Round I go. Go out a little bit. Little smiley face. You could really get some fantastic detail on that, if you wanted to. So when you look at the, see how it's already starting to come together? Look, just in that area where I've concentrated. And the reason this is more yellow is because I added more yellow. As soon as I do that, it gets darker. And then the other thing I can do, if I really want to bring this out dark, I can use my grayer pencils. So I've got my warm greys and my dark grey. Warm grey 2, warm grey 5. See which one I like. Look, so if I go in over the top with the grey, see how it tones it down, but it doesn't blacken it. Look, brilliant this colour is. There you go. Look, see, instant. I don't want to go too far, so we'll have to rub it all out again. But can you see how that changes? That boring beige colour. Crazy, isn't it? See? So boring beige, warm grey 5. And then exactly what we did before. You know when I said this trick where I go lighter colour. So warm grey 5, aka that one, like that. See? So you go warm grey, that bit. That's warm grey 5. Warm grey 2, hang on, too dark. That bit. See? So you just, they blend that way. See? So you just don't go as far with the darker one. And that's how you get that airbrushed look. And in the same way, if I've used the lighter beige or grey, I don't think of this as a grey. If I use that one in that area there, then I can take the darker one and go back in over the top and just add a little bit round there, and it just makes it more and more and more dimensional. The more you build this up, the more dimension it will get. It's a really, really good exercise in how to get layers and colour and contrast. And you know, you think there'll be people going, if you think I'm going to spend a week doodling a cock-a-doodle-doodle, you must be kidding. But the learning curve is great, and the best part of it is it's the Zen moment. It's not just the result, it's the journey, it's the doing of it, it's the process, you know. So that's what we're going to do. I hope that you've enjoyed that. Do you know that it's already 5 to 11? We've been doing this for an hour. 1 hour. That's crazy. But tomorrow we'll come back and we'll have another little look at his we'll look at his cape, and we'll look at his wattles, and we'll sort out his comb. Okay? So follow, like and share, and tomorrow morning join me again at 10 o'clock here, same place, same time, in the SHAC. Safe, happy and creative. Stay home and craft. 10 o'clock in the morning for another session of Cock-A-Doodle-Doodles. All right? Stay safe. Lots of love. Bye-bye now. And thanks, Lucy, for helping me.